Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to our second episode. This is a podcast called We Hope This Do Well. I am Chuck. This is my buddy Rob.
How's it going, buddy?
Ahoy, hoy. How are you today?
Ahoy, hoy. I'm well. How are you?
I'm great.
Fantastic. Living the dream, Charles. I'm living the dream. Well, partial dream. I'm chilling on my back porch. It's approximately 805 degrees with a slight breeze. Hanging out on a hammock, looking at the beautiful stars. I can see the Big Dipper, Charles. I can see the Big Dipper.
Wow, that sounds exciting, Rob. Sounds like you're having a great time.
Having a good time.
I wanted to talk about this ahoy because you and I have been saying ahoy or ahoy hoy to each other since we were probably teenagers. And
yeah, I believe so.
I don't know what people know about this, but ahoy was actually how Alexander Graham Bell wanted people to answer their phones. But eventually, the dumb inventor Thomas Edison, he won out with hello, and that's what stuck. But ahoy hoy is better. Well, I have to talk shit on Edison because I have to support Tesla, and they were rivals. This
just shows the fact that I was in special ed classes and you were in placement classes because I only know it from C. Montgomery Burns. Mr. Burns,
right?
Mr. Burns, if you're nasty. That's right. Yeah, I always thought that I'm trying to get out of my hammock and I hope I don't die. If I just stop talking because I broke my neck. I stuck the landing. We're good. Yeah, I always just thought it came from Montgomery Burns, so I loved it.
Anyways,
but
Rob,
that
ahoy
makes me sound way smarter. Ahoy.
Ahoy to you on this fine evening. I want to start out tonight. I want to give a couple shout-outs here. First of all, shout out to our buddy Grimace.
Or Ryan.
Otherwise known as Ryan McCormick. He has a very entertaining podcast called A Fireside Chat. You can find that just about anywhere a podcast is available. He's kind of an inspiration for us on this show here. So I want to give him a little recognition as he did for us on his show. We appreciate that, buddy.
And he is, in more ways than one, rearing us in the right direction, if you know what I'm saying.
He's always rearing us in the right direction.
He's been rearing me for years. I can't complain. Also, too, I've had such a man crush on him. I actually, my middle name is now Ryan, so I freaking love that dude. And also, his lovely lady, Tiffany Moore, she has an awesome podcast too called More Than You Can Chew, I believe is how it is. And she's a killer. The one I just listened to recently was one she put out most recent is about like the evolution of her crushes for the past years, and it's awesome too. So you should check both of those out. And if you don't like it, we're not friends anymore.
Nope, we won't be friends. Also, I want to give a shout-out to our buddy Ian. Ian was very pumped for us when I told him we were going to be doing this. And I told him he could be our first fan. So, Ian, you're officially our first fan, even if you didn't click the like button first. It's official to us. You can check out Ian's podcast. He does a comic book podcast with his partner, Paul. It's called McSauce. So you can check that out, too. Funny guys.
And they have, I believe is it McSauce.com because they have their comic strip and
Yes, that's right.
Other different awesome stuff on there.
Webcomics plus a podcast, all kinds of stuff. They do
I enjoy the fact that we're plugging this to the 5 people that are going to listen to this that probably already listened to those 3 podcasts, but just in case.
We might get an extra listener this week. You never know.
I think we're up to 5 now, Charlie. So,
That's pretty exciting.
Personally,
I'm happy if I listen to it and if you listen to it.
I would like to say that I haven't listened to the first one, but I have. I'm that self-consumed, so.
That's fine, Bob. There's nothing wrong with that.
My savage poodle is right now taking on a horned frog. It's pretty awesome.
You know what? I want to talk about Grimace again. I want to go back to Grimace.
I could talk about him all night.
Well, I saw him at Artie's 4th of July party. I don't see Grimace very often, usually twice a year. So I went up to him.
Right.
And I put my hand on his cheek, and I said, you know what? I really like to see you 2 times a year. I enjoy it tremendously. And he brought up the fact that the one time we see each other every year is during our fantasy football draft. But that's
right.
a pretty intense day. So there's not a lot of downtime or hangout time. So I saw him at the 4th of July party. We were having a good time. I told him about what we were doing here, Rob, and he got psyched. So that's all. That's my story. The end.
It's a great story. I always wish that I wish I gave more of a fuck about fantasy football, because all of the people that I care about, well, not all of the people, but all of our buddies are all into that. And you guys have this like awesome get together, and Saxman runs the whole ship, and
well,
I always wish I could be involved in that.
Dom's the commissioner. Just,
I apologize. Let's give credit where credit's due. Dom Yossi.
Yeah, Dom's been the commissioner for the past 2 seasons, and he still is for this upcoming season.
Oh, that's fantastic. Dom's a born leader.
But either way, it is a good time. Honestly, that's the only reason I do it is because it's with friends. Because the NFL in my book has become garbage. But that's a whole different topic that we don't need to get into. But yeah, the fantasy football is fun, and the draft day is fun. Hanging out with friends. It gets a little intense, but it's always a good time. So we got a couple topics to cover here tonight. We got some stuff written down. I got some notes.
Yeah, that's one of the lovely things about having friends at podcasts. They go, hey, this sucks. Don't do this anymore. Or you should probably think about doing this.
You guys are fucking unorganized retards. Why don't you do this next time?
Charles, it's intellectually disabled.
Yeah.
Get the shit right or I quit.
That we are, so we appreciate any advice.
So what are our topics this evening?
We're going to talk about, believe it or not, we're going to talk about Pokemon.
Of course we are.
We're going to talk about, you're going to like this one, right? We're going to talk about nipple tassels.
Okay.
And also, Rob's going to tell us a pretty funny story about his work. He's a plumber, so he's in and out of people's houses. So he's going to give us a little story later on that everybody should enjoy. And something we should be doing regularly is a music segment. Rob and I both love music, and we like to talk about it, and we're going to do that later, too.
And the beautiful thing about our music situation, Charlie, is like, as far as rock music, punk music, all the subgenres of punk music, we are like head to head on that shit. We love it, and we equally love what each other like. And everything else underneath the sun, I pretty much hate that you like. So that should be a great time.
And that includes, Rob, Pokemon.
I fucking hate Pokemon, so let's do this. Let's just go ahead and slide right in it and let my blood pressure hit the ceiling.
Let's dive in, Rob. Okay. So
wait, what I want from you is I need you to explain to me, if you could fucking just quickly, because I frankly there's not enough time in the world for you to convince me that Pokemon is cool. So I don't need you to do that. What I need you to do is tell me what these idiots are doing on the side of the road. Not idiots, these people. I shouldn't be a jerk. I shouldn't judge. Shouldn't be so jaded. I'm only 32. But
by the way, this is a fun, uplifting podcast. So that's what we're going for with all the negativity.
This is yes, fun, uplifting. You tell me why I keep seeing grown men with their cell phones out in front of them on the side of the damn highway, Charlie.
I can tell you all about it. That sounds like a dangerous place to catch Pokemon, but I guess you got to do what you got to do to catch them all. So there's this new Pokemon game. It's an app, a cell phone app. It's called Pokemon Go. Okay. Basically, it uses your GPS on your phone, and it displays a map of your area. And randomly, the whole point of this is to get people up off their fat ass.
While still nose deep in their cell phone. Ooh,
exactly.
You got jumped already.
Yeah, but okay. You can't play this game sitting on your couch. You just can't. You have to get up and go. It's called Pokemon Go. It uses your GPS, and you walk around town. You go to a park, walk around a park. If you want to find some water Pokemon, go down by the river. And the Pokemon, they kind of randomly pop up on your map. And then you click on the Pokemon, and the phone uses your camera. It displays the real world, and then there's a Pokemon there for you to catch. This is like my childhood dream. I can catch Pokemon now.
Charlie, that was your childhood dream?
That's one of them. I want to be a Pokemon master.
You wanted to be the little nerdy kid with the red hat, huh?
Ash Ketchum.
Oh, fuck, that's so terrible. It's bad enough that all these travesties that are happening in the world nowadays are from the right and the left are getting shoved down our throat all day on Facebook, and so all I do is yell at my phone and yell at these people on both sides for being so goddamn dumb. And it's funny, you would think the political stuff, the cop killing, the killing cops, all those things would upset me more. No. The fact that Pokemon is back pisses me off. I remember when we were little kids, Chuck.
Pokemon never went anywhere.
Okay, don't ever say that out loud ever again. And we were little kids, and by little kids, I mean in high school with pubes, mind you. And you and Blue, Justin Blaha, who I love very much, one of my best good buddies. You guys, I just saw a shooting star, Charlie. It was wonderful. I would want to walk to school with you guys every now and again. And you guys would meet at what time, Charlie?
Every morning. Justin lived across the street from me. So every morning I would wake up before school. I would be down in his basement where they had a little family room with a TV.
And a scrambler?
Yeah, they did. I'd be watching Pokemon at 6:30 a.m. every morning before school. This was like 7th grade, around that time.
This isn't poking fun at you by any means, but Charlie made it the whole way through high school without missing a single day. Perfect attendance. That's the student Charlie was. Rob, on the other hand, went to school 80 days my senior year. So there was no waking up at 6:30 in the goddamn morning to watch a freaking cartoon. So this game is it's a big deal nowadays, huh?
Yeah, it looks like it's pretty widely popular.
Yeah,
I mean, if you know about it, it must be, because I don't think you've been paying attention to Pokemon.
Okay, so here's the thing. I secretly love Pokemon. I switch between that and Magic the Gathering and Digimon and
Digimon is garbage,
Digimon
Rob.
thing?
I know you're lying.
And
Digimon garbage.
And I also still have my Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, and I truly am totally into Dragon Ball Z, and I also believe that dragons are real.
Wait. All right, you can talk smack on Yu-Gi-Oh. You can talk smack on Digimon. Leave Pokemon alone. But Dragon Ball Z? You're going to talk smack on Dragon Ball Z?
I guess.
No,
I'm that dude that doesn't know. I'm afraid of things I don't understand. I'm afraid of things I don't totally grasp, which it's a lot of shit, obviously. But I just can't do it. I just can't do it, Charlie. All these years we've been friends, I've been clowning you.
Can't have fun with this guy.
Nope, can't have fun with this guy. No fun for me, because there's no reason a grown adult should be playing that shit. Now, I take that back. I sound like such an asshole. I take that back. Charlie, you have 2.5 million kids, so you have every reason to be dragging your kids around pretending as if they're playing with you. That's a nice cover, and I respect I respect your hustle in that.
Well, I did. I took them down. I took them down to the park, and we took turns catching Pokemon. We would walk around until one popped up, and then you would catch it, and then we would walk around some more, and then the next person would catch it. So it was good family time.
I can't debate that. That sounds awesome, because your kids are awesome, and I like spending time with them. So, on that note, no, I mean, I still don't want any, but they're tremendous kids, though. So with that being said, I retract 55% of the negative things I've said about Pokemon, simply because I can imagine little Tommy and Charlie and Lana and you having a blast doing that. I imagine you having the most fun. And I imagine you being most into it, and whenever they pronounce a name wrong, you correcting them instantly, because you love to do that.
I caught a Jigglypuff yesterday. I was pretty excited. If anybody listens to this, if you know where to find a Pikachu, could you let me know? That's all I want. If I catch a Pikachu, life is complete.
Well, what I've heard, Charlie, if you get on a treadmill, they're actually on the treadmill. I say that with the chubby beer belly that I have. I'm such a dick. I'm jaded. I'm sorry. I listened to Grimace's podcast for too long the other day. Now I'm pissed. I can't talk about Pokemon anymore. I can't do it. I respect the game, respect the hustle. I like the fact that you're having fun with your kids. Rob Dold approves this message. And there's a cloud in the sky that looks like Pikachu right now.
Okay, well, I would like to accept your retraction of 55% of your negative statements. That is noted, and we will move on from here. Rob,
for the record book, I would like to say that 55% of my comments this evening. That's all. I don't take back shit I said when we were kids.
That's acceptable. I'll just let it keep bottling up.
Eventually, one day, you stab me with a steak knife. Pikachu is awesome.
Pikachu.
Oh, don't do it. Just don't. Just all four of the people who like our podcast officially left.
Well, thanks.
I take that back. They probably they play the game too. Let's face it. So, Charlie, tell me about your weekend, because my weekend was relatively uneventful. My wife took her little sister, who just graduated high school, took her up to Alabama, which is they flew, for a nice little congratulations, you're awesome, and you killed high school little vacation action. And I was home alone with the dogs and all 400 of our cats because we have a zoo. And the only thing eventful I did all weekend was I went and shot pistols with my neighbor who's a Marine, and he showed me up, as he should. And that's about it. That was my entire weekend. However, my friend,
doesn't sound too bad.
You had a way more interesting weekend than I had. If you could bless us with your stories, that would be fantastic.
I will tell you my Saturday night. It was a very entertaining and interesting evening.
Shall I say one more thing though, Chuck, real quick?
Yeah.
Tread lightly.
So anyways, my wife, Jenny, and I, we went on a date with a couple friend of ours. We started the night out down at a local bar. It's a new place called The Pub. Used to be the Ruger's Bagel Bakery right down here in Oakmont. Nice place. We had some good food, a couple drinks there. And then our local little theater here was having the Oaks. They were having a burlesque show. And this wasn't my idea to go here, Pub.
Sounds like trouble, buddy. Sounds like trouble.
This was my wife's idea, okay?
If you would have called me before that, I would have been like, Charlie, it's a trap. Turn, run, get out of there.
But it wasn't a trap because she enjoyed the shit out of it. So it was this burlesque show. And
it's a hard word. I can't say it.
Burlesque. I can tell you the only thing, Rob, that separated this from not a fully nude strip club, but we'll say a topless bar. The only thing that separated this show from a topless bar were nipple tassels. So,
really?
It's basically all these females, and they each did individual performances, which was basically like a striptease. And then they wore like the big fancy dresses and slowly undid them, and they went all the way down to the nipple tassels. So there were titties everywhere, but they had nipple tassels.
I don't understand. Now, I respect the art, and it's a thing to see. It certainly is. And it's impressive. They're all very talented people. I went to one back in the day one time, but I don't get why the nipple is demonized. Why does the nipple have to have a freaking Post-it note on it? I don't get it at all. It's like if you cover up your pee hole, does that make the rest of the wiener not offensive or?
Right. I understand that, and that's what I was confused about, and I'm still confused about because my wife is a good Christian lady, and she doesn't get into the strip clubs or anything like that. She doesn't like that kind of stuff.
Right.
But for whatever reason, I mean, I don't know if she'll ever want to go back to one of these shows, but for whatever reason on this particular night, this was okay for me to be there and be there with her. And I'm telling you, there were boobs everywhere. And I was allowed. I don't want to say stunts, but like the one that I saw back in the day, they did like borderline kind of sideshowy kind of thing. Was that there as well? Like fire and. Well, there was a couple singers Most of them just did like little dance numbers.
Nice.
The intermission act was a hula hoop girl, and she was very good at hula hooping. So that was pretty interesting.
Was it like more than one hula hoop or just one hula hoop?
No, it was one hula hoop, but she knew how to work that hula hoop. So that
one hula hoop. I could do that shit in second grade. You need to bring 4 or 5 hula hoops to make me fucking pay attention. Goddammit.
Now, Rob,
think your booby tassels are gonna.
If you would have seen Hula Hoop Girl, you would have enjoyed it. Okay. She was good at
negative.
She was good at hula hooping.
I'm saying, listen, bro. I can hula hoop. I will show that. I was gonna call her a bitch. That's inappropriate. I will show that chick up. I will put some pasties on me.
I don't
bro.
think they
you
like to call
no
chick
clue.
anymore either. I think you have to call her a person of non-gender to not offend.
Oh, we're not gonna dance in that freaking little
right,
circle there, Charlie.
Let's step off then.
But I'm just saying that I could hula hoop like a motherfucker in the second grade. So I'm just saying, if that person wants to come at me, I'm in Fort Worth, Texas, and I will hula hoop the shit out of that chick. I'm just saying. Get like 2, 3, 4 of them bitches going at one time. Fuck. Can't fuck with this dude, I'll tell you that much.
Well, you know what you can do for us, Rob. You know what you can do for us,
okay.
our 2 or 3 listeners.
Uh-huh.
You can videotape yourself hula hooping and post it on our Facebook page.
Now, Charlie, I'm not going to prostitute myself just for your enjoyment, Charles. Just let it be known, though, for the record, that I am one hula hooper motherfucker. All right.
If you say so, I'm just going to have to take your word for it because I've never seen
it. You bust out a skip it and a hula hoop at the same time, I will bring the fucking show down. Maybe some devil sticks, a hula hoop. I get some devil sticks. Remember those 3 stupid sticks?
Yeah, I never really got the hang of those.
I was a beast at them back in the day.
Apparently you were a beast at everything. You could hula hoop 5 hula hoops. You could have a skip. You could have a skip it on each leg, and do your devil sticks at the same time. Probably with your rollerblades on.
Wait a minute here. I did not say I'd have a skip it on both legs. That shit's just crazy. The fuck you talking about? 2 skip-its. No one can do 2 skip-its.
I'm just saying, you're the greatest. That's all.
Well, that's probably true. That's probably true. I'm just saying, let's not go crazy here.
All right, just 1 skip-it. Everything else is still there, though.
That's probably true. So you enjoyed? Did they? It's so hard to imagine because the last time I went to the Oaks, I think you and young William Orban made me go see.
I have Billy listen to this. Billy, listen to this.
If he's not listening to it, then he can't hear you say that.
Billy, can you hear me? Listen to this.
Yeah, dude. That was my Billy impression. I think you guys made me go see Rocky Horror, and I had never heard of. I mean, like I knew the dude from It was in the movie, and I'd never heard of that shit before.
Tim Curry.
Yeah. He looks. He I just always think of Home Alone and It. But Mr. McAllister. But so you guys made me go to that, but you didn't tell me they were gonna be like throwing shit around and chin fucking somebody on stage and.
Yeah, you didn't know what you were getting into.
Yeah, that was crazy. I got hit in the back of the head with a goddamn hard pretzel. I wanted to fight some dude, and then everyone's like laughing and smiling. And I'm like, oh, I'm the asshole.
No, Rob, you're never the asshole. That can't be right.
A fucking tough guy jerk. In order to enjoy it, my cousin is does like she's like an actress, and she does all the parts and stuff for that show. And she does it all the time, and she's really good at it. But I still don't understand why I got hit in the head with a pretzel. But that was the last time I was there, and that was probably like 2005.
No, that had to be in high school, man. That was probably 15 years ago.
Well, listen, I've been hitting the head a lot, and
I'd say it's probably like 01, 02, somewhere around there.
Yeah, you would.
So
what did you learn? What did you learn here? How did this change your life? Tell me about it.
Right. I want to tell you, you were talking about like the sideshow kind of stuff.
Right.
The last performer, she put some nails in her nose, like carpenter nails, and
cool.
she nailed a nail into her nose with a empty beer bottle, and then after that, she stapled balloons to her flesh, and they were real staples. It was a real nail. This was her shtick, and I think some people were kind of like freaked out about it, but I thought it was kind of interesting. I kind of like stuff like that. The whole, I don't know, like the sideshow stuff, like you were saying, like sword swallowers and that. I find that stuff very interesting and fun to watch. Because you kind of want to look away, but you kind of want to watch.
Oh yeah, for sure. I've always been fascinated by that stuff. Whenever I used to have my ears stretched, I used to love to hang stuff from them and freak people out and stuff like that. I always thought like the sideshow would be like the coolest job ever, just to push people to their absolute limits before they vomit all over your clown shoes. It would be freaking cool. So she stapled balloons to her in my mind I'm seeing a person with nails going through her nose and then stapling balloons to her knees for some reason. I feel like that's the appropriate place to put them.
Well,
where were the balloons getting stapled to?
There were a couple in her midriff area, like tummy, ribs.
Oh, that shit would hurt.
There was, I think, one on her arm, one on her leg, and one on her behind.
And then she broke all of them? Did she break them too?
Yes, she did. I forgot about that. I don't remember what did she pop them with. Probably one of the nails.
Huh.
But it was also interesting because in front of us there was probably 2 or 3 full rows of old people, and I'm talking like these people were in their 80s or 90s, like old couples going out on this big date night. I don't know because honestly, I didn't know what to expect whenever Jenny said, "Hey, let's go to this burlesque show." I was like, okay. I was kind of thinking like, am I allowed to go here with my eyes open or? But yeah, there were all these old people here, and I don't know if they knew what they were getting into, but they stayed for the whole show. So maybe they probably knew more than I did going into it.
Man, well, you got to think about it too. Like they're from the era from whenever those things were real popular. You know, like
right.
Those dudes probably fought in the war and had pictures of those.
Exactly.
Betty Page looking young ladies, on the sides of their bombers and shit, which is a time period in life that I romance about constantly because it seems super cool, other than the terrible social aspect of things back then. But in my head when you were describing that, the 90-year-old people, being that I'm from the area, like the first thing I thought of was like a bus from Longwood at Oakmont dropping these old fuckers off. You guys are going to see a show tonight, Oh my god. Fucking spider on my leg. Oh, you die now. Fucking Texas, god damn it.
We are now hearing the murder of a spider.
No, I think he was faster than me. I'm pretty sure he got away. My hobbit feet didn't get him. Fucking went Bilbo on his ass. So, Charlie, in conclusion to that, you see yourself in the future, pasting it up and hula hooping, or I mean,
I am not a
electrician's
hula-hooper.
a great job, but...
Well, I mean, you always need that side money for something.
Hey, sometimes you gotta shake it for a buck, you know what I mean? Do something strange for a piece of change. You know what I'm talking about, Charlie? You know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. Slanging that pizza around town.
That's right. You know, hand job's still a job, Charlie. Never forget that shit.
Anyway. We had a good time. And that's it. That's that story.
Were you smoking some party squares that evening, Charlie?
Me, no. I had my can of Copenhagen. Jenny had some party squares. But it was a fun evening. Like I said, I don't know if Jenny's
You're ever permitted to do that again?
I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen again. So, I'm going to take what I got and be happy with that. It was just like I was allowed to look with my eyes open and not get in trouble. So that's that.
Charlie, can you look with your eyes closed too?
Yes, you can. You can look into your own mind, Rob.
Third eye action. A little DMT. Find out what's going on.
Okay. Rob, I want to get into the story you were talking about before. I want you to tell everybody one of your fun work stories about going into people's houses, see a lot of stuff, huh?
Yeah, man. So I for all three of you who already know, I'm going to say it again. I am a plumber. I'm a service plumber in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And what my job is, other than chasing turds down pipes, I have to go into people's houses when they have issues and then help them out and charge them a premium. So, that being said, I go into lots of really sweet, like I had already said in the first podcast, Texans are like the nicest people possible. Even when things are terrible, they're still like, Charlie, can you hear me?
Yeah, you cut out there for a minute. We're still good.
All right. Sorry about that, folks. Apparently the cell towers here know that I'm going to talk shit. Thanks, NSA. I appreciate it.
We only missed about 5 seconds, so just carry on.
Yeah, it's fine. I ramble. So anyway, what happens is people are really fucking weird, Chuck, and they are not shy about their weirdness. The story that I wanted to talk about, I had a call for a broken sink at this lady's house, and she's elderly, and, this, that, and the third, and it's in a very nice area. I would equate it to like a Fox Chapel kind of area, a little older, but very beautiful.
Okay.
And so I get the call, and I knock on the door, and just about anybody's grandma answered the door. Just about as sweet as she could get. Oh, hi, I appreciate y'all coming so fast. Bless your heart. And
and that's the legit. That's the legit bless your heart.
Oh yeah, that's
the
legit bless your heart. Yes. It wasn't fuck you yet. So I go in the house and imagine this with me. Walk through this house with me. It's a single floor ranch house. Probably we'll say 2,300 square foot. It was a large one. Walk in through the front door on the left-hand side. Imagine a house that never left 1957. Okay, in my opinion, awesome. In our buddy Chris Lopes' opinion, awesome. But the rest of the world, not very awesome. So, left side is a what do you call it? A formal dining area. On the right-hand side, a formal living area. No television, no nothing, just some books. And, also a 6-foot-tall, stuffed, crocheted human sitting on one chair with a teacup sitting on the table in front of him. Sitting adjacent to said 6-foot-tall fucking stuffed animal dude, who, by the way, was dressed as Santa Claus. Wasn't Santa Claus, but was dressed as Santa Claus, if you know what I mean. Sitting across from him is a fucking pilgrim. And she, in her robust self, was also about 5'5", 5'6". It looked as if they were having tea in this lady's fucking living room. And I stopped. I'm typically one of those people that can keep rolling. You know, you see weird things whenever you're a plumber. You open up the cabinet underneath the sink to find dildos and enema bags and fucking all kinds of terrifying things underneath people's sinks. Hey, people, stop putting your personal stuff underneath your bathroom sink whenever you have a fucking plumber coming to your house. It's terrifying. And I'm not moving that shit. It's an extra $100 fucking dollars. So I'm like, okay, that's weird. Keep moving. Act like it's normal. People just have these kind of things in their house. You know, they just have human-sized fucking stuffed animals sitting in their formal living rooms having tea at 3:30 in the fucking evening on a Friday. And the lady doesn't even look over at them. It's as if two people are just hanging out in their room. Oh, yeah. Oh, she knows. So we walk past, and she says, oh, sweetie, it's right down here. So we walk by, and I make my way to the back end of the house, to the other bathroom, and I started looking at the situation. But in the back of my mind, I'm going, what the fuck was that? That couldn't have been real. That could not have been real. There's no fucking way. So she's like, oh, so I fixed the sink, just the tubular underneath the sink was a little bit fucked up. I fixed it. No big deal. And she was sweet, so I wasn't going to charge her for that. I hope my boss isn't listening. So she's like, oh, I got another issue over my master bathroom. And I'm like, okay, lead the way. Walking down the hallway, I just lock eyes with another mannequin stuffed animal dude sitting in her bedroom on a little chair right beside the fucking bed. He's about 6 foot tall, has a push broom mustache, a pair of glasses stitched onto his fucking head, and he is wearing, I swear to you on my grandmother Rosie's grave, he was wearing lederhosen. If you don't know what lederhosen is, it's traditional German garb. He's just wearing these, you know, like he's going to start yodeling and shit. It was fucking insane. And I'm like, wow, that's really fucking awkward. And I get kind of weirded out, and I walk back out of the room. The lady, you know, was like, oh, it's over here. And I'm like, oh, okay, feeling like I'm in the fucking Twilight Zone, Chuck. I'm like, is Ashton Kutcher going to jump out? Could I use a more dated fucking reference? Like, Jesus Christ, Rob, holy fuck. And I get in there, I see what's going on again. I explain to her how much it's going to cost. She's not worried about it, no problem. Santa Claus and the fucking Pilgrim are going to kick in. You know, they get charged rent, apparently. So while I'm in this room working on this shit, I can hear her in the living room talking, in that formal living room. So I turn around thinking for a second that this person's not absolutely out of her goddamn mind, and I'm just going to walk out there because she's obviously talking to me. I walk out there, Chuck, in the middle of the fucking room. She's standing, and she's looking back and forth at Pilgrim and Santa, and she's talking to them, and I go, oh, my God, I thought you were talking to me. And she turns on and went, no, I wasn't. And I just went, holy fuck. So I turn back around. I walk by Mr. fucking Lederhosen, and I realize that sitting beside Mr. Lederhosen is a picture of a man who looks just like Lederhosen.
Oh, gosh. This is getting, like, it was kind of funny to start with, and I'm getting kind of creeped out here.
Creeped out and a little bit sad. So, you know, I'm Mr. Compassion, Mr. Whatever, and I'm, you know, talking to her after we're all done. We're doing paperwork, and I'm like, oh, it's a beautiful house you have here. Is it just you? And she's like, yeah, my husband passed away a little while ago. It's just me, but my nieces and nephews are still in the area, and I see them all the time, and my kids and whatnot. And I just want to be like, oh, so we're not going to talk about the fucking 3 human-sized fucking teddy bears you have in your living room that aren't teddy bears, they're actually fucking people, and you probably have taken souls of 3 individuals and put them in there? by the way, sidebar, I'm terrified of dolls. One of our friends growing up, I won't name names, but one of our friends growing up, her mom used to make, and you probably remember, her mom used to make dolls that looked like little kids, and they used to scare the hell out of me. And then I read about Robert the doll after Mr. Michael Holshoe, who's one of my favorite people ever, Mr. Paranormal. After he told me about Robert the doll, which is a terrifying doll that's in, like, I think Key West or some shit. So I am terrified of, like, dolls and shit. So that's one of the stories, and I to be funny, to make a joke as I'm leaving.
Where's the punchline?
Oh, there isn't one. My friend, there isn't one. It's just an awkward story. As I'm leaving, I thought I'd make a joke and address the human-sized elephant in the fucking room. And as I'm leaving, I'm like, hey, you guys take it easy. I'll get the door myself. And the lady just stared at me, and I slowly closed the door.
Oh, no. Did
you
really say that?
Yeah, of course I did. You can't just not address that shit. You cannot just let that shit go. So
you know when she said she still has nieces and nephews in town? You know that was them. In my mind, watched way too many scary movies mind, I want that to be that. There's actually like a rib cage and a piece of section of spine in there, but that is the awkward story that I tell for the day. So that is quite awkward.
Yeah, so Charlie, since we're like best buddies, if God forbid anything ever happens and I'm alone at some point in time in my life, and I start to stitch humans, you're officially allowed to not be my friend anymore.
Okay, I accept that, and I won't be. I will turn you into the proper authorities.
I dig it. It's definitely. I wish it was a more funny story, but it's just weird.
Well, it definitely has an entertainment value to it. I can give you that. But
yeah.
So creepy.
So creepy.
I mean, that's the best word I can come up with for that. Just creepy. Like, that is the textbook definition of creepy.
Yeah, because, I mean, but the problem is, though, is it was a little sweet old lady, so it's, like, creepy but kind of sad. But if that was an old dude, it would have been like, oh, okay, I found the freaking Zodiac Killer. I found, I found where Jimmy Hoffa's at. He's inside one of these suits. This dude's a murderer. Get the hell out of here, BTK Killer. Buffalo Bill or Bob, whatever one it was. Super awkward. Super strange. Well, moving on ahead, Charlie, what's next on the agenda? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Music?
Yeah, we're moving on to music segment. We're getting away from creepy dolls, creepy old lady who has dolls and makes dolls.
By the way, listeners, do yourself a favor, all four of you. Go ahead and look up Robert the Doll. That thing will haunt your fucking dreams.
Yeah, I need to look that up too because I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, Michael Holshoe, you son of a bitch, you.
We maybe we can get MBH on here and a little guest appearance. You can give us the rundown of Robert.
Oh gosh, he would love that shit.
Yes, he would.
He is moving to my state.
Yes, that's right, he is.
Last
I
heard, he's coming down here, so he will only be 4 hours away, so we might be able to make that happen.
Yeah, definitely.
Mike, if you're listening, you're coming up to Fort Worth. We're shooting some guns.
Into the studio.
Drink a little bit of whiskey, and then headed straight for the studio, also known as my iPhone, and we're going to talk. We're going to chat it up. Mike, as we used to say back in the day, we're going to rap. We'll rap about it. So Charlie, getting back to things that are less terrifying. So we both have been trying to push each other to get back into listening to music that we might not really be into or kind of missed along the way. Yeah, I was inspired by a fireside chat, and I think it's something we should push each other on. You know, Ryan was, it feels weird to call him Ryan. He was on there and he was talking about not knowing any music from 2016, any pop music, any you know, so-called rock and roll. And then I sat there and I paused his podcast and I thought about it. And other than the few that he mentioned, I literally don't know any of. So your homework and my homework for the next podcast is we have to come up. There just has to be decent artists out there still, Charlie, that are on the radio, not underground cool stuff. Because you know, there's a million hipsters we could talk to about that. There just has to be something good still on the radio.
Okay, so we're talking something that would be on the radio. Okay, we can do that.
Right. Something from 2016 though, it has to be newer. But we're also talking about, and what we originally were doing, and I think we should keep to because it's more of our style, bands that we may have missed. And here, the one I have for you is one of my all-time favorite bands, and I know a lot of people share the same feeling. The Alkaline Trio has been a favorite band of mine since probably 10th grade. I'm 32 now, so it's been quite a journey. As you know, the most you probably know about them is the song Radio, and also the fact that Matt Skiba plays in Blink-182 now. But what I need from you, Charlie, is I need you to listen to the Goddammit album, which is their first album, and then go from there and come up north from there, Charlie, because you'll see what you've missed, and it'll be eye-opening for you.
I'm sure I will enjoy it. I don't know, for whatever reason, this is a band I missed. The Alkaline Trio. I know pretty much all of my friends have listened to them, and I missed it somewhere. And I don't know why. I've heard a few songs here and there on samplers and stuff like that. But, I'm pretty sure I'll like it. So I'll start from the beginning and go from there.
The band that I told you about last week, the Falcon, the bass player from the Falcon is, I said that before, but I'll say it again, is Dan Adriano, and he's one, he has more of like the Elvis Costello sounding voice out of the two of the guys from the Alkaline Trio. And he writes, half the amount of songs. So even though you spit in the face of a band I really like, I think you'll like this one. And if you don't, well, that's just, strike one for our friendship.
And Rob, we've had way more strikes than that, but we don't need to get into that.
I don't count them.
You spit in the face of Oh Honey.
Oh Honey can suck dick, as far as I'm concerned.
Here I am trying to be up to date and hip, and you just told me no. You told me no.
Listen, dude. If I want to listen to the fucking Disney Channel, I'll turn on some Hannah Montana. All right, motherfucker. I don't need to hear any of your, oh my God, their harmonies are so great. I don't want to hear it, Charlie. I don't want to hear it. Well, once it's two dudes harmonizing, I don't like it. That was terrible. So what do you got for me today?
For today, I have for you, we've been talking about doing this, and I've been thinking about it. And I was listening to a fireside chat also, and was also inspired because he mentioned Jenny Lewis. And
Juliet?
I was like, oh, Jenny Lewis. She was Juliet? The lead singer of Rilo Kiley.
I remember Billy Gust had a sticker for that band. I think it was on like his refrigerator or something like that at college.
Yeah.
But I've never listened to them before.
Bill Gus.
You're talking about Juliette Lewis, right?
No, I'm talking about Jenny Lewis.
I don't know her.
Well, she is again, I'm going with a female vocalist.
Of course.
But I guess they would be considered like an indie type band.
Right.
And yeah, Bill Gus, he's actually the one who introduced me to these guys, and the album that I want you to listen to is The Execution of All Things, because it is
The Execution of All Things.
Yeah. It is a great album front to back. It's got some catchy tunes and good lyrics. All the stuff that makes good songs. And her voice is phenomenal.
Nice. So if you were to equate them to something that I might already know, it's probably going to be hard because I don't really like female vocalists. So I know I've said that before, and I feel guilty and shitty because I don't mean that. Like I like R&B vocalists and I like some pop vocalists and stuff, but I just don't really like rock female singers now. Rock singers from now. The 90s, the Cranberries, Hole, obviously. What was that girl that I had the crush on all through elementary school and high school? She sang Stay. Lisa Loeb.
Yeah.
Natalie Imbruglia. Those are my chicks. We got to go back a little ways for me to get into that.
Yeah, the 90s had a lot of great female vocalists for sure. But like you said, who would I compare this to? I'm like, I don't think this is right, but the first thing that pops into my mind is Paramore, but it's not. It's a lot less. It's not as poppy. It's more kind of mellow. But yeah.
It's
hard to make a comparison.
You got me already. Well, if they're similar to that, then I probably will like them.
Yeah, but yeah, like I said, it's just not. It's not as poppy. It's a little more chill. It's something you can put on your headphones. Maybe you can listen to it with your wife. She would probably like it. It's good stuff, though, and I think you should listen to it. The Execution of All Things by I don't get the K and the R messed up. Kylo Riley. It doesn't flow off the tongue.
It's Rilo Kiley, isn't it?
Rilo. See, that's what I'm talking about.
It doesn't matter. I'm going to type in Jenny Lewis, and it'll direct me where to go.
Yeah.
And remember, you should listen to the Alkaline Trio, God Damn It, From Here to the Infirmary, and Remains is one of my favorite, actually, because it has, they do a cover of the song Metro from the 80s, and it is fantastic. And you know what's weird, though? I was thinking about the other day, Charlie, and do you know how, like, your dad, what kind of music did your dad listen to?
Just like your classic rock kind of stuff.
AC/DC, Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Everything that was played on DVE, right?
Yeah, he wasn't like super into music or anything. He just kind of, just whatever.
Right. My pops was into like a lot of Motown. My dad had a lot of soul, a lot of Motown stuff like that. He was a cool guy in the 70s, so he liked like Barry White and Teddy Pendergrass and things like that. But he also got down with some Genesis, things like that. But I noticed, other than like Dave Matthews Band, my dad never extended into the 90s and into the 2000s and 2010s. He just kind of stopped, It
just cut off, yeah. And that's
I realized that at some point in time, once we stopped doing CBAC, which was a pop punk band that we played in for a little while, for the one person that might not know that. Out of the 5 people that know who Seaback is. That's when I stopped paying attention. I stopped. It like completely fell off. Almost all of the music I listen to is from like from 95 to 2010, and I am just a stubborn cunt about figuring out new music, and that's why I'm really happy that we're doing this. And you guys who might be listening to this should do it as well. Get out there and figure out some new music, man. There's so much good stuff out there. It's not all fucking terrible, god-awful hipster music. But a lot of it is.
And if anybody has a suggestion for newer music we could check out, message us on Facebook. Yeah, definitely that. And then we could. What I would like to eventually do is, since we're both, we both love music. I think what would be awesome is if we could eventually start, doing little reviews and kind of going to battle with each other over what we like, what we don't like, things like that. That's going to be a little bit more entertaining than me and you just going, oh, Charlie, I think you should listen to this. And you go, ooh, I think I will. Rob, you should listen to this. And, oh, I think I'm going to tomorrow at work. Oh, fantastic. It'll be a little bit more interesting that way. And, also, too, I think just like every other podcast, if you guys have any questions that you have for us or just topics that you think we should talk about, anything like that, just go ahead and message us on Facebook. It's we hope you find us. We hope this finds you well at What's
Facebook.
What's the name of it, Rob?
Hope this finds you well at Facebook.com. And I'm going to set a Twitter account for this as well tomorrow. And we will keep this thing going, and hopefully a third happens. We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see what people think, and if not, fuck you guys. This is for me and Charlie anyway.
Yeah, fuck you guys. We're having fun.
I don't know, Charlie. I think that might be all I have.
Yeah, that's gonna wrap us up for the night here. So thanks for listening. That's all we got. So we hope this finds you well. I'm Chuck.
And we do.
I'm Rob.
And I'm Rob. I'm Charlie's partner.
We are partners. And we'll talk to you next time, guys. Thanks for listening.
Message us on Facebook. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Rob.
Bye, Chuck.
See you later.
Hang it up, goddammit.